Any nominations? Thank you.
Thank you, Acting Judge. I hereby propose Alan Richard Winde for the position of Premier of the Western Cape. Thank you.
Is there any seconder to this nomination?
Acting Judge, I, Ivan Henry Meyer, is seconding the nomination for Alan Winde to be Premier.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations?
Acting Judge, I, Rachel van Vogel, nominate Mohammed Shahid.
Is there any seconder to this nomination?
Acting Judge, I am Francois Campos, second the proposal from Honourable Rachel.
Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? If not, that concludes the nomination.
Presiding Officer, I have satisfied myself that the nomination paper for the nomination of Alan Richard Winde for the Premier position in the Western Cape has been properly completed.
I have satisfied myself that the nomination papers in respect of Mr. Alan Winde have been properly completed.
Presiding Officer, I have satisfied myself that the nomination paper for Member Mohammed Khalid Said for the position of Premier of the Western Cape has been properly completed.
Thank you. The following candidates have been properly nominated: Mr. Alan Richard Winde, Mr. Mohammed Khalid Sayed. Since more than one candidate has been nominated, a secret ballot will take place in terms of Item 6 of Part A of Schedule 3 of the National Constitution and Item 6 of Schedule 2 of the Western Cape Constitution. I now suspend proceedings in order to allow ballot papers to be prepared. Proceedings will resume after the bells have rung for 5 minutes. The ballot will now be taken. When members' names are called out, they must please go to the table of the Assistant Returning Officers to receive their ballot papers. Each member must then proceed to the polling booth to mark the ballot paper by placing a cross in the space opposite the name of the candidate for whom he or she desires to vote. The member must fold the ballot paper and return it to the Assistant Returning Officers at the table. The ballot paper must be folded in such a manner that the official mark can be seen by the Assistant Returning Officer at the ballot box. After the Assistant Returning Officer has noted the official mark, the member must place the ballot paper in the ballot box. When members receive their ballot papers, they are requested to pass behind the chair to the voting booth to enable a smooth flow. I wish to point out to members to inform the returning officer if they inadvertently spoiled a ballot paper before the ballot paper is placed in the ballot box. Should members fail to do so, a spoiled ballot paper will be treated as an invalid ballot paper and will not be considered when counting the votes. Thank you.
Regan Ivan Allen. Deirdre Modeline Bartman. Ayanda Precious Barnes. Memory Boyson. Gillian Bosman. Anton Wilhelm Bredel. Khalil Brinkhuis. David William Bryan. Aisha Kasim. Ferlin Charles Christians. Noel Constable. Brett Norton Heron. Dwayne Gilbert Jacobs. Peter Johnson. Francois Comfer. Petronella Zangisa Lekker. Tozama Letakon. Johan Yaku Lon. Ricardo Denver Mackenzie. Andrew Johanna de Toy Mare. Grant Peter Marais. Noko Phineas Masipa. Apologies. David John Mania. Noma French Mbombo. Ivan Henry Meyer. Dylan Gary Mitchell. Mangesi Benson Nensu. Nobulumko de Gracia Nkondlo. Basil Pietrus. Wendy Felicia Philander. Muhammad Khalid Said. Isaac Mbulelo Seleko. Tertius Alfred Simmers. Donita Rosalinda Stevens. Beauty Nomawa Stoffel. Benedicta Maria van Binnen. Leonard David van Wyk. Thomas Charles Ravenscroft Walters. Mary Winde. Dirk Johannes Wessels. Alan Richard Winde. Rachel Windvogel.
Will that conclude the voting? Thank you very much. Are there any members who have not voted and wish to do so? Are there any members who have not voted and wish to do so? If not, I now suspend proceedings to enable the returning officers to count the votes and report to me. The bells will be rung for 5 minutes before the resumption of proceedings. I would like to report to the House and confirm that I was present at the counting of the ballots. I have received a written report from the returning officer and confirm the contents of the written report, that the result of the ballot is as follows. Mr. Syed received 14 votes. Mr. Winde received 26 votes. And there were 2 spoilt ballots. Should I say order? In terms of item 6C of Part A, Schedule 3 of the National Constitution, and item 6C of Schedule 2 of the Western Cape Constitution, I accordingly declare Mr. Alan Winde duly elected Premier of the Province of the Western Cape. On behalf of all members here present, I congratulate you, Mr. Winde, on you having been elected Premier of the Province of the Western Cape. Would the Honourable Premier like to say something to the House?
Thank you very much, Acting Judge, Your Honour. It is an absolute honour and privilege to receive the majority vote in this very House. And for that, I say to all of the members, thank you very much. And I don't take this lightly. It is a privilege, but it is also an honour to be able to take this position into this next term on behalf of the citizens of this province. I would also then like to acknowledge the citizens of the province. They have made a choice, and that choice is not only me and my party, but that is every single one of us. Every one of us in this House represent the will of the citizens of this province. We have all sworn an oath to uphold our Constitution, both of our national and provincial constitution, to do the best that we can. And I think as we move into a new term, as we move beyond 30 years of democracy into the next 30 years, our country is changing. And the demands are there. Our citizens, as every one of you represented in this House would have seen as we went to campaign, we would have seen the issues that our citizens face. And I want to say that it is up to every one of us in the various roles that we play to make sure that this Parliament and this government do the best that we can by our citizens who have voted for us to represent them here in this august House. I can say that our population is growing rapidly and the pressure is on us. I would also like to say that as we move into this next term and in this next stage in our country, that we also need to make sure that this House, the robust debate in this House, at the end of the day is to the benefit of our citizens. And that we must use this House to bring innovative ideas and different ways of doing things in our roles as government and as opposition, in our committees, that we use these platforms not for ourselves, but for all of those citizens of our province. Your Honour, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Premier. The meeting will now proceed to elect a Speaker. Before calling for nominations, I have to remind members